Movies, one of life's greatest joys. It's up there alongside eating and performing coitus, but I only know about two of those things. Now, there's a lot of great movies, and in those movies, there's a lot of great characters and a lot of great scenes. Now, what I've done is I've compiled 5 of what I believe to be of the greatest scenes in these movies. Now, a lot of these scenes are from movies that had other great scenes, but these are, if I had to pick one right now, one of the greatest scenes in one of those movies that are one of the greatest movies. I'm not going to keep you on for too long. Without further ado, let's get right into number 1. Johnny Looks Up. Now, this movie, I'm talking about the original one. I do have an installment of the later 2010 one with Jackie Chan, but this one we're talking about the 80s one with Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence. This was in the beginning. Daniel had just moved to California from New Jersey, and that's a polar opposite move that I've never heard of. You know what I'm saying? All the way from the East Coast to the West Coast. And Daniel comes to find out that California boys are different than New Jersey boys, which, to be honest, I could have sworn that New Jersey boys were way tougher than California boys. In fact, I'm almost positive now, because when I get the image of a guy from New Jersey, he's a lot more deranged and aggressive and physical than a guy who's from California, right? But this movie, apparently the universe that this movie takes place in, that's not the case. After moving, Daniel's not having a great time. He's not making friends. He decides to go holler at the prettiest girl in school, only to find out that her boyfriend is some deranged maniac. This maniac then proceeds to absolutely beat his ass at the beach and makes his life a living hell at school. So Daniel feels like he has to learn to fight. And while at a lunch date with his mom, he ditches her prematurely to go watch a class at Cobra Kai. There he sees the sensei, the really sad and pathetic looking white guy, and the guy goes, "Johnny, put him through the warm-ups," or something like that. And so all the guys stand up, and as Daniel is watching in awe, thinking about all the possibilities, the guys bow down, and there we see Johnny's smug face make eye contact with Daniel, smirks, and it continues on with the warm-ups. Daniel, having been belittled, emasculated by this guy for so long, walks away in absolute shame and embarrassment. Also, I was just gonna talk about this scene right here, but I'm actually watching this right now as we speak. And the scene right after, where Daniel is back with his mom, you see the Cobra Kai guys in the background. The one guy is walking towards Daniel. He's like, wait a minute, is that? And then he goes back to the other guys, and then they decide to come up with a plan or whatever. This guy in this movie just can't catch a break. But that was Johnny Looks Up, one of the most awesome scenes I've seen in an action movie. It's kind of subtle, but it's pretty cool to me. Alright, Brett, at number 2, we have Jaden Smith sneaks the Chinese bully. Now, like I said, there's 2 Karate Kids. We just talked about the one from the 80s. Now we're going to talk about the one from 2010 with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. Now, this scene is legendary, and I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about. So first of all, we start off with Jaden Smith. He just moves to China. He goes to a park. Now, the one thing that you would expect a black kid from America to do well is basketball, only for him to just be absolutely terrible. He excuses himself. He goes and tries to play ping pong with the old Chinese guys. This just shows this guy's ignorance. Don't ever try to play ping pong with old Chinese guys at a park. They've been doing that their whole lives. If you didn't know, Asians dominate ping pong. I mean, if you can't dominate at basketball, your people's sport, why would you go and play ping pong? Anyways, he doing this, he's still catching the eye of the girl that he really likes, you know what I'm saying? The main theme about these movies of Karate Kids is the loser guys trying to talk to the pretty girls, right? Even though they have no business doing so. And apparently the pretty girl's going for him for some reason, which this never happens in real life, by the way. So he finally musters up the courage to go and talk to her. She's over there studying like they do. Then he starts busting a move. He starts dancing. The Chinese guys in the background, they're just bullying him with the pop and locking and all that stuff. It's working though, right? And then she does that thing where she has to touch his hair because it's different. Damn. Then the Asian bully guy comes up, and bro, this guy's aura is out the wazoo, bro. I've never, keep it in mind, I'm assuming he's like the same age as as Jaden Smith. This guy's aura is crazy. I've never seen such villainous aura from a child like this. So he starts getting on the girl, right? Because I don't know, she's supposed to be studying or whatever. Jaden Smith is over here picking up the papers, even though the guy tosses him so many times. He's like, yo, leave it. Jaden Smith keeps butting in. And guys, don't ever butt in on domestic issues like this, all right? It's not your place. You don't know what's going on. Until finally the guy has enough and he shoves him on the floor. Jaden Smith gets up thinking he can fight. And bro, the funniest part of this is this guy right here. The kid with the backwards hat and the blue shirt. This is peak antagonizer. I've never this is one of the biggest antagonizers I've ever seen. Antagonizer, instigators, his instigation badge is crazy. Look. So the Chinese bully guy drops Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith gets up with his hands. The dude in the blue goes, yo, look. He still wants smoke. I don't speak Chinese, but I'm assuming that's what he said. He still wants smoke. So he points at Jaden Smith. Now the bully guy turns around. He's like, huh? What? Oh, okay, you want to fight? He beckons. He tells him to come over here. Swipes him off his feet, bruh. Oh, wait. And look at this. The dude in the blue picks him up. Now you would think that he's helping him up, right? Because, he's on the ground. That's what a person would do if somebody falls. No, he's helping him up and trying to get him to get back and fight some more. Peak instigator. This guy goes, look at him. He doesn't care about Jaden Smith. He just wants to see this fight go on, bruh. He just wants to see the Chinese bully beat Jaden Smith's ass. He goes, get up, go fight him some more. I've never seen instigation like this in my life. And then when Jaden Smith gets dropped, he just celebrates. So boom. Jaden Smith, he's crying. He really should quit at this point, but I guess, he doesn't know what quitting is, which is honorable. Gets up, gets beat some more, gets dropped some more. The girl tries to convince him to stop. Now what you're about to see is something ridiculous, okay? What you're about to see is not safe for those who are feeble-hearted, okay? It was at this point that Jaden Smith should have gotten up, apologized, and walked away. Why are you getting into this mess with them, okay? The guy goes, have you had enough? Jaden Smith on the ground with his back turned. He sneaks him, bruh. Now, I don't know what you call this, right? Just a backhanded sneak. You've been losing this fight the whole time. This guy's been beating your ass relentlessly. You don't even go for a crazy haymaker. You don't go for the temples. You don't try to go for a knockout or whatever. Now, if I was in this position, there's no winning this. This guy can fight better than you. He's bigger than you. He looks more athletic than you. You can't run from him. I mean, the best thing you could do is cower and apologize to the guy. But he doesn't do that. He tries to sneak in because there's hoes in presence. I'm telling you, man, girls have gotten many men off in the past because of ego. God almighty. And the craziest scene I've ever seen in my life. He sneaks the guy, he does a twirl, a pirouette. Boom, hits the ground, gets right back up in a fashion I've never seen. This is the most athletic, spring back up anything I've ever seen in my life, dude. What did he just do? What did he just do, bro? What kind of ancient Chinese secret shit is that? It would be at this point that I would say, whoa. And so you're not fighting fair. You know what I'm saying? It was at that point that I don't know. I don't know. I would just give up, dude. I get on my knees, pause, and I beg for forgiveness. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. A very wise man once told me, you win some and you lose some, but you live to fight another day. Or at least that's how I think it goes. He antagonizes this guy, and the guy just ends him, whoops him, gets him on the ground, and then fucks his eye up. Whoo-wee! The way he just flipped and got back up, so smooth, so seamless, so intimidating. This kid right here, his intimidation badge, his aura, never seen anything like it. Now, I'm a huge fan of X-Men. X-Men First Class is one of my favorite movies. Now, there's two different Magnetos, okay? There's the old guy who, oh my god, I'm gonna disrespect so many people because apparently he was in the Lord of the Rings. What's his name? You know what? We're not gonna do him like that because he was actually a pretty good character. I'm gonna look up his name right now. Ian McKellen. That's who he is. He does a great job portraying Magneto, by the way. Magneto is one of my favorite characters in X-Men. He's actually my second favorite character. And funny enough, my first one is Quicksilver, and then Magneto is number 2. And I think in some storylines or whatever, apparently they're father and son. I don't know. But anyways, so X-Men First Class is all about Magneto's get back. Now, apparently Magneto was a Jewish boy who was sent to the Holocaust, and his parents were murdered by Sebastian Shaw, who was also a mutant. Now, he noticed that Magneto, Eric Lyncher, had some crazy powers because when they took his mother away, he started bending the metal bars or whatever. He's very powerful. He had untapped potential, and Sebastian Shaw saw it. So Shaw would go on to exploit his abilities. He would actually try to get him to master his abilities, but at the same time, he killed his mother, which I'm assuming he never forgave. So this X-Men First Class is basically Magneto getting his revenge on Sebastian Shaw. So at this point, he's tracking him down. Now, his tracking has led him all the way to Argentina, which in real life, a lot of Nazis went to Argentina after the war. So he's tracking him down. He goes to a bar, speaking Spanish. There's some fat old white guys who don't look Argentinian there. And the beer is German, and then the guys start talking to him in German. So, he knows these guys were Nazis. He decides to sit with them and he pretends that everything's cool. Now, one of my favorite parts about this is the guy goes, "Ja, it's Deutsch beer." He's saying like it's, I'm saying like it's Dutch. No, what am I saying? Dutch. It's Deutsch, but apparently that means like German beer. The guy goes, he's from Dusseldorf. And Eric Lencher, Magneto goes, "Yeah, my parents were from Dusseldorf." He goes, "Really? What were their names?" And then he goes, this is my favorite part, he goes, "Oh, they didn't have names. Their names were taken from them, from pig farmers and tailors." Now, it's at this point that he lets them know that he knows that they're sick Nazis they're hiding, right? These guys are nervous. They start chugging on the beer. Everyone's nervous. They're on edge, right? They're looking at each other. Everyone's looking at each other. Then Magneto flips over his hand to show the tattoo of the numbers that Nazis were like tatted. They were branded. So now they know that he's a Jew. He reaches for his knife only for Magneto to stop him. And now that I'm watching this, can he sense like metal like that? Like, can he sense the fast movement of a knife towards him? Is that part of his ability? Because, he manipulates metal. So if some guy was like reaching for metal, like going at him with a knife, can he sense that? Or are his reflexes just really good? Anyways, the knife says blood and honor. And he goes, "Blood and honor. Which one would you shed first?" And the guy goes, he says the thing that all Nazis said. They were just following orders. Magneto stabs the guy with the knife. Then the actual Spanish Argentinian guy comes in with a gun, which is a big mistake. I mean, Magneto can control every single part of that gun, from the bullets to the trigger, and now he's controlling that guy's hand. He literally manipulates the gun all the way to shoot the tailor guy, and then he stabs the Argentinian guy with the knife, and then, bro, this scene is just absolutely sick. He takes a swig of the beer, and then he says, "Let's just say I'm Frankenstein's monster." Oh, and in the scene, the gun just comes to his hand, and then he ends that last guy. Bro, this scene was just absolutely magical. I love this scene. This is one of my favorite scenes. I also like the beach scene where he literally controls every single missile coming at him, bro. God, Magneto, X-Men, just wonderful, dude. All right, this next one, you should probably know it, and I can't not mention it, okay? This is the fight between Aang and the Fire Lord Ozai. Now, this fight was epic, especially in the beginning when Aang wasn't really trying to fight him. Now, Aang, all he wants is peace. No more fighting. The Fire Lord Ozai is a sadistic, psychopathic, war-hungry man who just wants to fight all the time. So he's bullying this kid, right? He's actually just beating him up until Aang decides to put himself in a little rock cocoon, and then Fire Lord Ozai is just spraying the fire at him. My favorite part about the fire spraying is when he lifts his hand up. He basically concentrates all his power into one blast, and then blasts that rock cocoon. Now this would then destroy it and propel Aang backwards into a jagged part of the rock, which would then poke that little tender area in his back, which would then activate his avatar state. And it was at this moment that Fire Lord Ozai just messed up. He goes over the rubble, and then a hand reaches out and grabs him by the goatee. I love this scene because you can see the horror in his eyes, and then he sees the glowing lights looking back at him. Oh, and then he tries to hit him, only for Aang to just block it. God, this scene is epic. The slow motion is just sick, man. And from then on, he would just get absolutely decimated by Aang. This scene was awesome. Now, I had an additional installment that I was going to mention right here, but it was from a Netflix movie, and I don't have Netflix anymore, so I can't access it, even though it's one of my favorite movies and it's one of my favorite scenes, and I would just love to add it. Maybe when I get Netflix again, I'll talk about it. But finally, we're going to talk about Rocky running with the kid behind him. Now, Rocky is a great franchise, one of the greatest movies ever, okay? And one thing that Rocky does very well in every one of his movies is there's a training montage, okay? Now, if you look up Rocky training montage, there's a compilation of all of his training montages. Back when I used to like train and work out and like run and stuff, I would listen to these because they would always hype me up and give me the motivation that I need, right? Now, I think there's like 6 of these training montages, right? And they're all good, don't get me wrong, but I do have favorites. My favorites are the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. Actually, you know what? I like them all, dude. But, okay, here's my real ranking, okay? I like the second one, I like the fourth one and I like the fifth one. No, wait, I got it confused again. Okay, I like the second one, and I think it's the second one, the one where he's got the sweats and he's running in the streets with the kids behind him. I like the third one with him and Apollo Creed racing at the beach. And then I like the fourth one where he's training to fight against Drago and they got him side by side. You know, one is training in some barn in Russia and the other one's just got all kinds of technology and stuff, right? Those are my favorites. Okay, but the one I'm gonna talk about here, the one that gets me every single time, is the one where he's in sweats and he's running through, I'm assuming Philadelphia, right? Can't not be Philadelphia. He's running through Philly, and oh my god, he's just running in the sweats, which is so 80s. He's got the headband on, and he's got possibly the worst possible shoes you could run with. Converse? Oh my god, dude, I run out in the streets, and I rarely run. I don't like running in pavement because it's very taxing on your joints and your knees, right? But that's with running shoes made from today. This guy was running out in pavement in Converse. These shoes have no cushion, no support, just the worst thing ever. Any man who runs in these shoes for a prolonged period of time is basically guaranteeing himself to be crippled in old age. But the scene is sick, the music is just wonderful, and my favorite part of this is when they get to the end stretch. Rocky starts speeding up a little bit, and the kid behind him with the orange jacket, he goes, "Go Rocky, go, go, go!" I can't watch that scene and not get teary-eyed at that point right there. That kid would have he would have motivated the fuck out of me, dude. Right then and there. I love that scene. He was hurtling through benches all throughout the park. He's just got a bunch of kids following him. There's that one kid with a cast, that's pretty cool. And all the way at the front, the kid in the orange starts sprinting with him and forces him, motivates him to go even faster. And then Rocky sprints all the way up the stairs, and he does that thing where he has his hands up in the air and he's jumping up and down with the kids. This would never fly today. I mean, I would have a lot of questions. No man should be surrounded by that many kids. But yo, those are some of the greatest scenes when it comes to action movies, in my opinion. Obviously, it's subjective. You're welcome to let you know what you think in the comment section. It's been your boy, and I'm out.